Yeah. This
Good
guy
morning,
is, yeah.
good morning, good afternoon, and good
Yeah.
evening wherever you are.
Yeah.
With the current events going on every day, where everything is all chaotic, and we're talking about self-discipline and how to, um, like, self, how can I, like self-empower yourself in order to deal with everyday issues, lifestyle, and hope and future. Um, Again, I have my uncle here. Thank you
Yes.
for being here and being part of this and sharing your wisdom. So, with everyday life that's going on right now, and when it comes to self discipline, is there any way that you can share one of your own personal experiences where you had to be disciplined within, which will overall empower you, in the long run?
Yes, Ifyok, thanks again for this opportunity to pick up where we left off last time about talking about sharing our opinions and how to deal with what's going on in the world, especially the world today as we know it. So, yes, there are issues. There are things that I could share, many, many, many issues that I could share. But I'll try to keep it to the most recent ones.
Okay.
I've been struggling with a lot of weight issues, and there.
When you say weight, are you talking about weights or weight?
Yes, both,
Both? Okay, okay.
both.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it takes the other one to get the other one.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, but gaining weight, I just felt like I couldn't lose weight, and that's primarily because of the things that I've faced in the recent times. Very difficult positions that I've put myself in.
Okay.
Because I'm responsible for me. So losing weight, eventually I had to find a way to discipline myself to doing it so that I will not leave this world earlier than I'm supposed to. So I was weighing about 250 pounds. I'm only 5'9" at best, and they were very hard on me. So eventually, I decided to employ self discipline and self control. So the self control aspect is me watching what I eat,
Hmm.
what how I eat, and and um, and then the self discipline is to discipline myself to exercise and do certain things,
Yeah.
and eventually I, I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to have an effect, a positive effect on that. So I'm seeing results that is based on my disciplining myself and controlling the things that I do to be able to accomplish that. So yes,
Okay.
that's one thing that I've done.
Now, I mean, I know you said that you want to be around longer. I
Right,
got that part.
right.
But what would it take for someone to mentally accept that? Like, let's use the weight for example.
Hmm.
Like, let's say they want to lose weight. What would it take? What did it take for you to mentally accept that? And then be disciplined enough to execute.
Yes. Well, number one, it took. I mean, when you're younger, you could actually carry the weight a little bit easier, but nevertheless, you're not going to be functioning at your ultimum capacity.
Okay.
Everything is dragging. Your mentally affect your mental capability. It affects your physical. It affects everything. So it takes away the joy of living because everything that you do is has to be a drag. So I decided that I wasn't going to live like that anymore. and nobody could help you but you.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. I agree with that.
so that's what, like we talk about self-governing, the last video that we did. That's just, you have to govern yourself in order to be able to live the way that is good, and the way that is healthy for you, is it gives you joy, you feel happy,
Yes.
and then from that you could express love and joy and happiness to the people around you. But on the other side, if you're not happy, have joy and all that, and then what's going to come out is going to be hate and frustration and anger.
Yes.
So
Did you face any distractions and towards your goal?
of course there's always distractions. Good food.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Television.
Television.
Yes, with the
Yeah,
good food.
with the good food.
Like
But tomorrow is always the worst one. But it never comes.
right.
Yeah, so you find yourself not doing it because the time that you want to do it is never there.
Okay.
So that now you have to do it now. So I had to come to a conclusion that the most important thing that I have in my life is this moment.
It's right now.
Right now.
Absolutely.
So not just speaking it right now, it's doing it right now.
Yeah.
And that's how I overcame that.
Okay.
And not say, I'm tired, so I'll do it tomorrow.
Yes.
And then because you're not doing it, you never get to a place where you are untired
Right.
to do it. So
I remember when I was at that place where I wanted to control my weight, and take care of myself, and first it was a mindset for me, telling myself I need to do this because if I don't, it can get out of hand. And then normally, like in the normal plate that I would have, I had to tell myself, okay, instead of eating this whole thing in one setting, let me cut it in half, and so I'll eat half then and then half later, then cut it into thirds and so on and so forth. So that was like my start to do that,
Yes.
to be
Yeah.
disciplined, to reach the goal that I needed.
right.
Okay. So when it comes to discipline, self-discipline, and dealing with the police, let's say a person gets pulled over and they're not sure what to do, what would you recommend them to do in that situation?
Okay. Well, what I would recommend them to do is, number one, to gather the facts around that situation. Okay. They have the power, they have the authority, they have the means to make you do certain things that you, even if you don't think those things are right, at that time they have the right to do that. For whatever reason they think, maybe they think you're suspicious of something, for whatever reason, they have a right to do that. You have to come to that conclusion. Okay, now before you start to say, well, what is my right in that situation? So the self-disciplined person have to have the self-control to not overreact to saying, well, you cannot justify pulling me over, or you cannot justify getting me to step out of my car. You cannot. No, you don't. That is a question. That is a question down the road.
Yeah.
That will be answered. But for this moment, for self-preservation, it's better for you. You would be better preserved if you were to comply to what this officer is asking you to do.
Okay.
Okay? You comply to what he's asking you to do. I think I saw a video the other day where a young lady in Aurora, right down the street here, was pulled over. She was driving. She was parking in the parking lot. I think they went to go get their hair done.
Okay.
So she pulled over. The police officer pulled her over, and then they asked them to exit the car. She was, believe it was four females, her and her daughter, and her two nieces.
Okay.
And so she handled the situation, even though she was animated, but she eventually handled the situation in the way that it preserved the lives of everybody that was in there. You could see, thank God for social media today, you could see the unjustified way that the police were maltreating them. Have a 6 or 7-year-old on the ground with her hand behind her back, and in such an humiliating position, that yes, a father or male in that situation might have gotten even more aggressive.
Yeah.
To see such maltreatment of a person who is not old enough to even understand what was going on.
Yeah.
So that's where self-discipline comes to play, especially if there was a male in that situation. That male needed to have the ultimate self-control and self-discipline to be able to escort that situation into the courthouse, where those officers will be held accountable for such unjustified behavior.
Yes.
So it's important for us to understand that yes, they have a duty to do, but they have to do that duty within the Constitution, what the Constitution allowed. And once they violate that Constitution, there's a deterrent. And the deterrent is not in you. You don't have a gun. Even if you had a gun, you're not allowed to use it on the police officer because of the uniform. You may disrespect the person all you want, but you must respect that uniform.
Yes. So with that being said, if you were granted one wish, and that wish was to make an adjustment in the police department, however you see fit, that'll be great. What would that look like?
Well, see, now this is a different question, but I'll answer it within this context.
Okay.
Because that's what the power. Now we come back to what that power is that you have. The ultimate power is in your hand. See, the ultimate power is in your hand, and that power is the power to vote. And when you vote, you effect changes. See, and you put people who have common sense, who have people who have good conscience. Nobody's perfect, don't get me wrong. Nobody's perfect, but you have to look into that's your civic duty, is to understand who am I putting out there to represent me so that I could live a life that is free of any kind of harassment,
Right.
of police harassment, of police brutality. So that's where you do that. You vote. Police commissioners,
Yes.
you appoint them through vote. The mayor you vote into. Your legislatures, these are people that make laws. Some of them create ordinances. It's called an ordinance. And these are the people that you have to make sure the ones that you vote for are going to be the one that they're going to do things that are justified, that justify them being there.
Okay.
That they're not going to skew the law. They're not going to be so heavy-handed on giving police power, and then not be and take away your rights, which you can even ask a question and the police will shoot you.
Right.
Because you ask why are you doing this? Boom.
You're right.
You only have one life to live.
So the voting basically would be this, instead of going to national voting, which that's also important, but local voting, right? Voting locally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You start from the local to the federal.
Okay.
So everybody that you put in there has to be a person who you're gonna look at their what they believe in,
Right.
and you see, do you line yourself with them? You don't have to line yourself all the way through with what they believe, but the critical issues that are matters to you, you can at least know that these people agree with you,
And it starts locally.
and start locally.
All right.
Right.
So y'all hear that,
So,
right?
yeah.
You know, you got to get out there and get involved locally in your community.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
Right. Right. So that's what self-discipline does. You discipline yourself to go out and get involved, and then talk to people to get involved.
Yes.
And the next thing you know, you have election that has people who believe that the police should have a right to put their foot on your neck simply because they have a shelter that protects them from doing that, even if it's not justified, And then on the other side, if you discipline yourself and have self-control on how this police officer drags you out of your car, you come out of your car, you come out, say you lay on the ground, he searches you, he doesn't find anything, you don't have any warrants, you nothing, you don't have anything, he takes a breathalyzer of you, you're not drunk, he does all this stuff that would justify him pulling you over, and you're not, none of those things are present. Now, at the end of the day, now tell me, why did you pull me over? My tail light is fine. My license plate is not expired. I'm driving at a 35 on a 40 or 40 on a 40 speed limit. I'm doing everything right. Now tell me, so when you check, the only thing that you could rightfully say, you pulled me over because of the color of my skin.
Profiling.
And he would not be able to answer that because you've not given him any other cause
Right.
to pull you over. See?
So that self-discipline will tie into conducting yourself in excellence, taming your tongue, your attitude, yes ma'am, yes sir, no ma'am, no sir, whatever, and keep your cool. And then after the fact that they've conducted everything, run you through saying that you might look like a suspect and whatever else, after all of that and everything is great, then you can ask the question, so why did you pull me over?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when he's not, then you take him to court to explain why he pulled you over.
Yes.
And that's the ultimate deterrent. You hit them in the pocket where it hurts.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah. You hit them. You keep hitting them. You cooperate. After a while, the supervisor is going to be like, "Come on, man. We've paid millions of dollars for you pulling people over when you don't have to pull people over." But very soon, the police is going to be bankrupt.
Yes.
Because there's so much money that is put up there for them to police. So you hit them like that, it now forces the supervisors to hold this frontliners
Accountable.
feet to fire.
Absolutely.
And now forces the police to discipline themselves to work according to the system that is in place for them, where they're not violating people's rights.
I like that.
So your self-control and self-discipline is so important for you to change it might take a minute, but persistent, continuous. You just you stay on the grind. Just stay alive.
Yes.
Stay alive.
Yes.
Stay alive.
Yes.
So there are many ways to skin the cat. See.
I like
So
that.
not only in the ballot box, you could do things now that forces them to. You keep hitting everybody. You keep hitting them in the pocket. Hit them in the pocket.
Yes.
You talking about burning down things? You're gonna put yourself in jail.
Right.
You're gonna put yourself in jail, and then they'll continue to do the same thing, because that thing you just burned down, the insurance company's gonna pay for it,
Yeah.
and then ultimately you're gonna come back and pay for it in taxes,
Taxes. Yep.
and
Yep.
other ways.
Yeah.
But you discipline yourself. You take that money from them, put it in your pocket, take care of your business, take care of your children, and then you fault the police. When police are tired of paying out that money, the supervisors, whoever they are, they're going to be mandated to do their jobs.
Yes.
Because if they don't do their job, then they're going to be fired. So bring somebody else in, another police chief in, that he's going to do the job, because the other one couldn't do the job
Yes.
until the thing is correct.
I like that a lot, Uncle. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great word.
Right.
So if you go to a supermarket, Walmart, whatever, and you get stopped by the police for whatever reason, they want to check your receipt or whatever, just keep your cool, maintain, and follow all instructions. And when they're done, and you can ask them, so why did you stop me? Or why did you harass me? With a gentle tone, a gentle, mindset, a gentle everything. And then, get the information, and take them to court. That's what Uncle said. If you get pulled over, same thing. Just have a different mindset, So that's the new discipline, the new self-discipline,
Yeah.
to empower yourself in a time like this.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that's good for now. You guys want more? If you want us to talk about anything, just post your questions, But give your feedback, give your thoughts. Because your opinion matters, And at the same time, like and share this video so that others can see it, to be empowered within themselves, because they do have the power within them, and to make a difference, not only for themselves but for those around them. So that was great, Uncle.
Yes, the people really need to understand the ultimate power is within you.
Absolutely.
We talk about man that govern himself can take a city. That's how you start taking a city. It's one police officer at a time.
Absolutely.
You take them, you take the control of them and let them know they have to behave according to the law.
Yes.
Because the law applies to them just as it applies to you. So when we try to fight them without self-discipline, self-control, the ultimate, we lose. We lose our loved ones, and the next thing you know, we're demonstrating. The laws just continue. The collateral consequences of lack of self-control and lack of self-discipline is very, very consequential. And at the end of the day, you don't have the self-empowerment to do that, because you keep losing.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle.
You're welcome.
You're awesome.
Well, God is awesome.
Hey. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just thankful.
Yeah.
To be in this moment.
Yeah.
It's very, very rewarding.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, we'll have to do this again.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'm available.
Awesomeness.
All right.
Well, hey, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this moment. Have a great day wherever you are. One love, big hugs, and until next time, peace.
Already. Yeah, I see. I'm getting that right.
Yeah, you got it.
Right.
Thank you, Uncle.
All right, I love you.
I love you too.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay.